Hello students, in the last lecture we have studied about circuit diagram and how to solve them. Now many times a question is asked where you need to find out number of appliances. These questions are even there in your NCERT books. The question is something like this. Let's say I have taken a question. How many 176 resistors can be connected in parallel across a 220 volt supply such that the net current flowing in the circuit is 5 ampere. Now how to solve these types of equations? For this I am telling you a general formula which will be useful for you in solving such type of numericals. General formula is in series RT is equal to NR, whereas in parallel RT is equal to R upon N. Now what this symbol basically indicates? RT will be the net resistance of the circuit, R will be resistance of the each appliance, whereas N will be number of appliance. So this is the general formula. Now how to use it and how to solve the equation we'll see. R which is the resistance of each appliance. Mostly in the question it is given directly, or it can be found out by a formula P is equal to V square upon R. Now this formula P is equal to V square upon R we are going to study further or after this. So R, either it would be given directly or it can be found out by P is equal to V square by R. P basically is power, V is potential difference, where R is a resistance. Now talking about RT, it is mostly found out by Ohm's law. RT will be equal to V upon I. RT is the net resistance of the circuit. Now coming back to the question again, how to solve it. As you can see, they have asked how many 176 ohm resistor. It means 176 will be the resistance of the each appliance. So written R is equal to 176 ohm can be connected across in parallel. If we need to find out number of resistance in parallel, we would be using the formula RT is equal to R by N. R is the resistance of each appliance which is given over here, and it is equal to 176 ohm. As I have already told you, RT is always found out by Ohm's law. So RT is equal to V upon I. Here V is 220 volt, whereas I is 5 ampere. On solving it, I will get RT is equal to 44 ohm. So I have R with me, that is 176 ohm. RT I have found out by Ohm's law, and it is equal to 44 ohm. As the appliances are connected in parallel, so we'll use the parallel formula. RT is equal to R by N. On solving, I get N is equal to 4. It means I can connect maximum 4 resistors of 176 ohm each such that the net resistance becomes 44 ohm. Or I can say I can connect maximum 4 176 ohm resistors across a 220 volt such that the current flowing is equal to 5 ampere. You must remember this. These formula are applicable only when each appliance have a same resistance. Otherwise, these formula won't work if each appliance have different resistance. It is only applicable when each appliance has a same resistance. So for series, formula will be RT is equal to NR, and for parallel it will be RT is equal to R upon N. Now moving on, we'll now study Joule's law or heating effect of electric current. Now what basically heating effect of electric current is? You might have used toaster or heater in your home. Now how does a toaster or a heater works? Whenever you connect it to an external supply or a switch, the current starts flowing in the device, and after some time it becomes hot. Now why does this happen? It happens because of heating effect of electric current. So whenever an electric current is passed through a conductor, it becomes hot after some time. This effect is known as heating effect of electric current. This basically happens because of the potential difference. Whenever you apply a potential difference across a conductor, it means the electron will start flowing through it, and as the electron flows through it, then some amount of energy of the electron is lost in the form of heat, and this is known as heating effect of electric current. The scientist who studied this was Joule, hence it is also known as Joule's law. Now what did Joule study? He took a conductor, across it he applied a potential difference of V and assumed that current I is flowing for time t. So experimentally he found out that the heat energy released was directly proportional to I square. It was also directly proportional to resistance of the conductor, and it was proportional to the time for which the current was flowing through the conductor. So combining all these, he got H is proportional to I square RT. This is the formula he derived experimentally. Later on, it was also explained mathematically. Now, what is the mathematical proof of Joule's law? Now, as we know, I is equal to Q upon T. This we have studied in earlier lectures. From here, I can find out Q is equal to IT. Now, as I told you, heating effect only comes into play when a potential difference is applied across a conductor. So, potential difference is given by work done upon charge transferred. From here, I can find out the work done, which will be equal to charge transfer into potential difference. From equation 1, I know Q is equal to IT, therefore work done becomes VIT. And as I know, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So, putting this value over here, I get work done is equal to I square RT. And as you have studied in class 9, work done is equal to energy, and here I am talking about heat energy. So finally the formula will become H is equal to I square RT. So this is the mathematical proof of Joule's law. Joule's law is basically, it explains about the heating effect of electric current, and that is whenever a current is passed through a conductor, it becomes hot or it releases some energy, and this is known as heating effect of electric current. Now moving on, as we have derived formula of heat energy, that is equal to I square RT, and also we have derived VIT. There is a third formula for it, which is V square into T upon R. Now how this formula have been derived? So as we know, I is equal to V upon R. So we put this value over here, we'll get V square T upon R. So these are the three basic formula using which you can find out the heat energy released. On a safer side, there is a small trick. As we know, in series, current remains same. So mostly whenever a question comes and where the resistance or the appliances are connected in series, it is preferable to use this formula I square RT. And when in the question, if the appliances are connected in parallel, it is better to use this formula V square T upon R. As we know, in parallel combination, potential difference remains same, so it will be easier for you to solve. Now moving on, we'll study power. Now what is power? As you have learned in class 9, it is a rate at which work is done. Since here we are talking about electric work, so the power will be the rate at which electric work is done by the source in maintaining the electric current in electric circuit. As we know, power is rate of work done, means work done divided by time. So if I divide this work done by time, that is, if I divide VIT, I square RT and V square T by R, I'll get three different formula for finding out power, and that will be VI, I square R and V square by R. As I have already discussed, it is better to use I square R when the appliances are connected in series combination, and V square by R when the appliances are connected in parallel combination. But it is not compulsory. You can use either three of the formula, but for simplification purpose, it is better to use I square R when the appliances are connected in series combination and V square by R when the appliances are connected in parallel combination. Next, we will study combination of three resistors. Now, how can the three resistors can be combined? They can be combined in four ways. First, all of them can be connected in series. Second, all of them can be connected in parallel. Next, two parallel, one series, and two series, one parallel. Now let us understand this more clearly with the help of an example. For example, you have been given 3 resistors of 9 ohm each, and you have to combine them in such a way that the net resistance becomes 13.5 ohm. Now how to do that? As there are 3 resistors, there are 4 ways of combining. If I combine all in series, I would be getting the answer 27, 9 plus 9 plus 9. If I connect them all in parallel, I will get 1 by 9, 1 by 9, 1 by 9, answer will be 3. If I come to this combination, 9, 9, 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 is 4.5 and plus 9 is 13.5. So this combination gives the answer 13.5. Now how to write the correct answer in the exam? First you have to draw the diagram and then you have to show the calculation as well. Only then you are going to get full marks for the question. So the question has to be done in 2 parts. First, you need to draw the diagram. Second, you need to show the calculation as well. Thank you students for listening patiently. Thank you.